money is coming to me. So much money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. I got money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. So much money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. So much money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me.
Good morning, North Carolina.
Good morning, Florida. How's it going? What a lovely, beautiful, exciting way to start a Monday, y'all. This is amazing. I love that. I need that recording, Bill.
Karen Drucker. Um, I got an
Oh,
MP. I made an MP3 of it. I think I can send it to you. Um,
Aaron Drucker. Money is come so easily and effortless. Money is coming to
it's
me.
pretty
Okay.
catchy. It's good affirmation.
Yes. Karen Drucker, you've started off my morning. Well, you are continuing my morning on a beautiful path. It's raining here in North Carolina. It is something degrees. Don't know what that degrees is, but it's cool. It's raining, and I'm having a glorious start to my day.
Me too. I'm alive.
I'm
A good
alive,
start.
y'all.
I had
How
a
was your game?
long weekend. I played softball all weekend. Wow, we played
Ah,
five games over 2 days with three of them on Sunday. So a lot of softball.
all right. I love it. I love it. I was raking leaves, if you wanted to know.
I'd rather play
And
softball.
you know what? It was while I was doing it, there were a couple of times that I was like, oh my God, when I am given access to my $1 million bank account that's already there for me. But once I'm given access to it, I would love to pay someone to do the leaf raking, the grass cutting. I love to do that myself, but sometimes I just want to have somebody else do it and give them the honor of getting paid to do an amazing job. You know?
Yeah, you're distributing cash. That,
Exactly.
I like that.
Exchanging energy.
I I used to hate cutting the grass, and we've got a little over half an acre, so there's a lot of grass to cut. But I have a riding lawnmower. I mean, I can remember when I first bought this house, I didn't have a riding lawnmower, and I'm out there with it's a gas mower, but still. And when I think about that, when I was a kid, we didn't even have a power mower. It was a, but anyway, I digress. But now I love getting on the lawnmower, putting on some music, uh,
Yes,
and just going into a different world while I'm going up and down, cutting the grass. It's almost like a meditative state. I mean, you can think
it
of
is.
good things and just really get into a different world. As long as you don't run into any trees, you're okay.
Absolutely.
I actually had lots of
Absolutely.
good ideas doing that.
Huh. Well,
So now we've established what we did for the weekend to bring joy into our life. You raked leaves, and and I played softball till I'm so sore I can hardly move. So
yes. The old leaf raking and softball playing.
yeah. Oh, I haven't even opened the box with the one I ordered. Plus, I've got the other one that we found around the house.
Uh-huh.
But that's just how when you come back after. See, it takes almost 2 hours to get to the field we played at, and 2 hours back. So that's 4 hours in the car, and
Mhm.
then you play two games of softball. Usually lasts about 3.5 to 4 hours. So about 8 hours of your day is either driving or playing. By the time you get home, you don't want to open any boxes from FedEx or anything. Throw them in the
Absolutely.
corner. Throw them in.
goodness. You know, I'm happy to be alive. I feel magnificent. I really do. Today I feel glorious, but every day I feel glorious. I just feel a little bit more glorious today than I did yesterday. And I've had a productive morning. I had a productive weekend.
That's
Um,
because it's easy when you believe it.
all day long. And look at that. Um,
Shameless plugs for anybody that watches the
Yes, Bill will be putting up. I moved my books off of my desk because I was trying to clear the clutter, and they're out of arm's reach. So I would have to get up, and then you guys will see the green screen madness. And so I've decided that I'm just going to sit put. And anytime we say it's easy when you believe it, Bill will show the book.
well, I'll get the books closer. See, instead of reducing clutter, I just bought a longer desk.
Well, see, what I had on my desk is my planner, my weekly planner, my journal, my gratitude journal, my note-taking book, and my clapper. We're celebrating life. We're celebrating the coming of our um
Imagination party.
party
You know,
coming.
it is funny. It's such two big word, not two big words, but two words you don't use in a sentence
Together.
together.
Right.
And so you have to think. And there's another guy on the that's got a Facebook page. I can't think what the name of it is. It's about positivity.
Hmm.
And I notice now he's doing a positivity party.
Oh, well, look at
It's
that.
we've started something here.
We said we were starting a movement. What's going on with this sweater? This
A
is
party movement.
my, there we go. Okay, sorry. I was finding myself non-symmetrically, that's not even a word. I messed it up somewhere. Anyway, so um imagination party. That's what
Yeah,
we're
one of the questions on his site was, is this free or do I have to pay for it?
mm,
And I don't think in anything that I put out there yet have I said it's free. I've
oh
just put the registration thing in there. So I'm going to make sure that when I post something today, I'll make sure that it says free. And if anybody has trouble registering, just contact me because I've noticed there's a couple people that I posted the link before, and even you looked at it, you said it was the wrong link. And I don't understand why that happened because I posted it or I cut and pasted straight off of Zoom.
yeah, I did the same thing, but it added additional letters in front of the URL and on the back, and I had to then go back and copy the link, and then I edited my posting. So I'll make sure to do the same. I actually tested it to make sure that, and that's how I found out that the link was not working in the first place.
Yeah, I tested it
Because
too, and yet I got another one this weekend saying I couldn't register. So I looked, and sure enough, it was taking them to this page doesn't whatever.
yeah.
So then I just sent him the link in Messenger. But I got to go in and make sure that because every day this week I'll not. I hope I shouldn't say I hope. That's my plan right now is every day this week to just post something about the party so that we can get as many people. I noticed Mary actually went ahead and shared it for us
Yes, she
on her
did.
personal page.
And I appreciate that so very much. That's amazing. It's just you're blurry. You're blurry, Bill. I don't
Not
like
gonna-
blurry Bill. I like clear Bill. There you go. Okay, you
and I
came
didn't
back.
move. It's just the camera trying to adjust because I reached over there to get my books. No, I guess I reached over to get my hands.
Ah,
So, yeah, selflessness. You, I noticed Mary sent again. We're talking about Mary from Magnet 30. For those of you
yes.
who don't know it,
Mary
another
Farias.
place you should try to check it out. You should make sure you check it out. Don't try, check it out and join the site because it's just a group of individuals that are growing more and more each day, supporting each other each and every day. So it's a great place to be. And if you want to check that out, or if you want to check something else out, check out her page, her Facebook. I guess it's a group page or whatever on You Were Born Rich, where they study Bob Proctor's work as well. But she shared our party on her personal page, which just shows you that she believes that the universe is unlimited, just like I do, just like you do, and that trying to support other individuals that might be expanding and sharing their information or their knowledge is a good thing, not a bad thing, even though at some point in time it may take away likes or follows from you, whatever. So, and then she even, I didn't answer it yet because I wanted to talk to you yet. I didn't see it till last night because I wasn't paying
Hmm.
attention about wanting to mastermind about how to get our book. It's easy when you believe it. Um,
Get it, y'all. It's packed with very useful tools that you can use to improve your life and get on the track to manifesting your dreams.
yeah, but she even offered to mastermind with us. I mean,
Hmm.
she's got several books out there. I think she wrote two or three when she was a gymnast instructor, and then she's got rewrites of You Were Born Rich, I think, at least. Well, she's rewrote a couple books right now.
Hmm.
Napoleon Hill's book, and then I think she might have rewritten "You Were Born Rich" too as a study guide. But anyway, so she's got several books out there. She's publishes her own books, and she just wanted to offer to mastermind with us on how to get our book out there and spread the word to people who might, find our perception and the way we write interesting and some gain some growth through it. So, and the only reason I brought all that up is is if you live in a world that is unlimited, what you want to do is help people. That's what you want to do. I mean, it's about spreading the word and helping other people achieve their goals as you achieve your goals. And that she's just a great example of that. And I just wanted to give her kudos.
Yes, she's definitely been an amazing human being to know, and just knowing that she has so much experience in this work of really trying to impact humans to think better, think more positively, speak better language when it pertains to what you're trying to accomplish and achieve. Just being very mindful and aware of the language that doesn't serve you and that negates any desires that you may have. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
deliberate creation, deliberate
deliberate.
manifestation, and the same thing. Uh,
Yes, indeed.
but it's so refreshing, and I mean really refreshing. And I'll probably get this sentence wrong. Uh, for somebody to walk the talk. No, that's right.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk, but they don't walk. Uh,
Yep.
Walking the talk is so important if you want to really, really impact the people that you're talking to. Because if you're just talking and then you're not living that life, then who are you? You're a phony.
My glasses are acting funny today.
Now you see that I said something really impactful there, and she adjusted her glasses. You see? No,
I had to see what you were saying.
but you know what I'm
Clearly.
saying.
Yes, of course.
There are individuals out there that see a coaching business uh, not necessarily as impactful, and there's a lot of them that as they get um, more organized and they really see the how they're influencing people and how they are impacting people, then they realize and then they start walking the talk. But
Yes.
you need to do it from day one, whether you're making a penny or not making a penny. If you're not doing it, you're just hurting yourself as well as demonstrating to other people that you don't really believe what you're saying. So for those of you that aren't, that don't have goals, and for those of you that aren't visualizing or imagining every day, um, what are you doing? You know.
And I encourage you, I think it's easy to focus. It's easy when you choose to focus on the things that have gone wrong in your life or going wrong in your life. That's easy to do. And it's also easy to make the choice to focus on the desires of your heart, the things that are going through your imagination of the wonderful manifestations that could be yours if you don't already believe that they are yours. And so when you're able to step into that and really begin to give those things in your life focus and attention, you begin to see shifts. And sometimes they're really small, but when you become aware, they seem really big. And then sometimes they're really big because you've seen small manifestations of what right thinking does. And I mean, it's just really simple. If you want something, you speak it as if it already is. And then you begin to feel what feeling feels like when you're in the possession of whatever that is. And just so that we're clear, this is not just about monetary things, even though that's where people's minds have a tendency to go to, because money is needed in order to survive and to sustain life currently. And
Well, money
so,
money comes up in your day probably more than anything else, or goes through your mind more than anything else. From when you buy your first cup of coffee, if you buy coffee, or whether you go to the grocery store, whether you go to the gas station, or whether you
absolutely.
go out and your battery won't start your car that day, whatever it is, money is always constantly going through your imagination and through your thought process. And that's why it's so easy to get off track when it comes to money. Because you go down to the gas station and say, God, gas is 3.29 again today. It's 2.99 last week. Is that the
Right.
way to look at it, or is it to look at it? Wow, I've got the money to buy the gas, and I need the gas to get to work, and this is good. I got gas. When you got a hurricane coming through and there's no gas, you don't care what the price is, because
Right.
gas is important, not the money. So what's more important, your dream or talking about how you don't have the dream? And you notice the
Absolutely.
light bulb behind me? That's what imagination
I
does.
love it. Those bright ideas that they're coming. Those things are coming. Uh-oh. Be creative. Be creative. Be creative. I like to break out in song quite frequently throughout my day, and I figure why not apply it to our imagination sessions that we have, these conversations that we're having these conversations every day, and we don't send each other an email or a direct message via any of these different things that we can through Instagram or Facebook. We just get on here and we start talking, and through our conversations, sometimes ideas spark.
Well, when you see Ben Franklin on the $100 bill, what does that do? Do you think Ben Franklin thought, you know, I got to come up with these ideas so they'll put me on a $100 bill? You know? No, he used his imagination. He created things for people, and in return, now, and he's on our $100 bill and has been for the longest time. So, and he wasn't even a president of the United States, which is very unusual to be
Mhm.
on. I think he may be the only one that's on one of our
Hmm.
denomination bills. that wasn't a president of the United States, and it's actually the one that everybody at this point in time in their life, because there is no bill bigger, is trying to get in their wallet. And it's a guy who
Mhm.
just had imagination. He saw things differently in his mind, kind of like an Elon Musk.
Yes, and any other creators out there that came up with these incredible inventions that
Yeah,
we love and use
what's his
today.
name? Bo's Amazon guy. I started to say Bozo, but that was Bozo the clown.
Jeff Jeff Bezos.
Bozo, not Bozo the clown. Even though Bozo the clown was pretty good for those of you that are older, uh, and the Apple guy. You know, I mean, they
Yes,
all had
Steve
imagination.
Jobs.
Yeah,
Yes, they did. And each and every one of you have an imagination of your own. I'm sure there are things that you've all created and have been really proud of. Imagine if you can multiply that. Whew. Multiply those imaginations of things that you've seen that bring you joy and just are an expression of who you are at the core of your being.
yeah,
So,
yep. Yeah. Think about deliberately manifesting those things that you're imagining on a quicker timetable rather than just, I wish this, and then go off on your day.
right.
Do some visualization, do some writing. Writing is a great way to keep it stuck in your mind when you write something down. And just start talking about the story you want to live as well as imagining the story you want to live. And those things will come a lot quicker. And enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the journey. And so the other thing, I had I'll call it an interesting experience. Um, someone had reached out to me and sent a message. And I looked at the message and meant to respond, and I got sidetracked. I easily get sidetracked,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Put
I'm
some,
okay with that. And so I got sidetracked and started doing other things. I did mean to respond, and I didn't. And the request was a very short notice. And so uh, I really wasn't going to be able to participate in the request. And so the following day, I received a message that was a little passive aggressive. And I found myself getting annoyed by it because, on a day-to-day basis, we get inundated with communication from our loved ones, from friends, and they come either on our cell phone or they come on social media, however people find it easier to communicate. And sometimes we're unable to respond because we're all living life, right? We're all doing things, we're all experiencing things.
playing softball for the whole weekend.
Correct. And so, if I would have sent a message to Bill and he would not have responded, my world would not have come to an end, and I wouldn't have felt to say, "Oh, so you don't want to respond? Like, what's up? I thought we had this, connection." And like I said, life happens, and I found myself getting annoyed, and I checked myself. Number one, because I had to ask, why am I getting annoyed? And I do recall a time in the past where I would send a message and I wouldn't get a respond, and I would say those things. Oh, so I'm not good enough to respond to? Like, this is what I would say. And I realized that that wasn't really the best thing to do. And so when I caught myself getting annoyed because of someone else's response to my lack of response, I immediately apologized because it really just was an oversight. And I just completely forgot. And I decided that I was not going to allow things to irritate or annoy me. And it reminded me that if I send a message out to anyone or try to reach out to family members or friends and they don't respond, which happens quite often, believe it or not, I don't get bent out of shape. I just chalk it up to people are living their life, and when they are able to respond, they will. And so, my thought then came to, well, maybe they're going through something. So I had to try to see and understand from their point of view, what it meant not to get a response. And so I genuinely felt like maybe something was going on, and I responded, my apologies. I just forgot. I got sidetracked. And I didn't receive a response back, but that's okay, because I realized that when we're going through things in our lives, sometimes we just need to be in our stuff. And some of us, it takes longer than others to move past certain events. But I say all that to say is that every single day and every single moment of our lives is not filled with positivity. There are things that are going to irritate, annoy us, make us angry, make us question certain things. And when we're practicing right thinking and right speaking, and we are very self aware, then it makes it easy for us to be able to respond to situations with compassion, with understanding, with curiosity. And so you may want to ask the question, hey, is everything okay? Anything I can do to support, just things like that. But because I choose to be in a state of joy and happiness 99.99999% of my every day that I am able to experience life and all its beautiful contrast, then the things that would irk me aren't so easily irking anymore.
Well,
And that's because I choose to feel good and
yeah, we are responsible for our own joy. Nobody else is responsible for it. We are. So no matter what the circumstances, even if you initially, and I'll tell you a quick story here in just a second, but we're all human. Um,
Mhm.
there's always more to the story than what you can see yourself through your perception. Uh, and I know that I say that a lot now because my wife is always coming and saying, just like you said, there's always more to the story.
Yeah.
You know, but it's true. No matter what you're looking at, you don't know exactly what's going on with that other individual or whatever.
Hmm.
I was driving down. This is my little short story. I was driving down a back street that goes behind the grocery store that I use a lot, which is, and there's one intersection that comes into that little street that there's a stop sign. Well, the main little side road doesn't have one, and the people
Hmm.
come off of Highway 19, which is a big highway, and they come roaring through there, and there's a good share of the time they don't stop at the stop sign. So if you're going down that the small road, it's very easy for accidents to happen there, and they happen. No, I won't say a lot, but they happen enough that you should know if you travel there a lot to pay attention. So I think it was Friday afternoon, and I'm not sure why I was in a vibration. It wasn't high, but I know that I was in a lower than normal vibration. I knew it when I went out. In fact, I wanted to go out and just drive around because I just wanted to kind of clear my head and stuff. I don't know why. Um, and I'm driving and toward that intersection, and sure enough, here comes this guy ripping through, and you could tell he wasn't going to stop. And I slammed on the brakes, and he's halfway out into the intersection, and I get pissed. I mean, I'm human. That
Right.
initial reaction was I got angry. And he's yelling at me and flipping me off. So what's going on in his world? I don't know. He's got the stop sign. I don't have the stop sign. and we almost have a collision. In fact, he had to back up so that I could go after that. Uh,
Mm.
and I'm thinking, and then he starts following me, which was the funny part, down this side road, and I'm just thinking to myself, first of all, I got upset with myself, not with
Mhm.
him. I got upset with myself that I reacted the way I reacted in anger. And then again, I thought to myself, well, there's always more to the story. Who knows what's going on with this joker behind me now? He only followed me for a couple lights and then he sped by me, giving me the finger again after we got
Mm.
onto the main road. So I don't know what. And then he made a U turn and went back in the direction where he was originally going anyway. What
Mm.
satisfaction he got out of that, I have no idea. But I pulled over into a in Wendy's and just bought myself a soda and sat there and went over it in my mind about how I should have how I wish I had reacted, and that I know that I need to work on certain things. That first impulse is not always the best, but give yourself some slack. You know, you acted human. Now you know what you did. What should you have done? And go to that vibration again. By the time I got home, which was after the soda was 5 to 10 minutes because it's very close,
Mhm.
I was back in my high positive state of vibration, more positive than when I came out to take that little drive.
Right. And it's important to know that Bill, when you and I have these conversations, we're not trying to be just that you should always be happy. You can intend for your day to go phenomenally amazing and great. But again, the reality of life is that we're going to go through things, right? And we are going to get pissed off and we are going to get upset, agitated, annoyed, or whatever comes up. And it's okay to be in those feelings and those emotions. What is not okay is to dwell on them, sit on
Mm-hmm.
them, and think of ways of how you can make somebody's life impossible because they made your life impossible, right?
Learn from them.
Correct. And so what we're in essence saying, and Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we are promoting right thinking, healthy thinking, positive thinking, and how to live a better life. We're not saying that every day is going to be rainbows and unicorns, cotton candy, and all the good stuff that we like because it's not. That's just not reality. But when you make it a point, an intention to feel good and experience good things, then you draw that attention to you more frequently. You draw that energy towards you to experience the things that you want to experience so that when you experience some joker cutting you off or doing something wrong, or someone responds in a way that's very passive aggressive instead of just saying, hey, it really upset me that you didn't respond quickly, and then try to get the other person's point of view so that you can have a better understanding of where they're coming from. And even if you can't get that information, to have the understanding and knowing that you don't know what that other person is going through. And so when we react instead of respond, you're going to get a negative outcome.
Yes. And I could have taken that all the way home, talking about the Joker and being ticked off all the way home instead of realizing that there was no reason I shouldn't have reacted either.
Hmm.
But I did. Um, and I could have taken that home, and then I could have taken my negative energy into the house and even influenced the members of the house with my negative energy. Instead, I realized what I had done because of personal growth,
Hmm.
stopped, took a breath, replayed it, and learned from the experience. So, yeah, you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. I'll just add one other word to what we are preaching about, if you want to call it preaching, and that's growth.
Yes.
That's my extra word.
And what is growth? What does it mean to you? You know?
But growth for me is it like in that situation in the past. I probably would have kept going home and just talking about the Joker that first he tries to hit me, then he tries to follow me, then he,
And it
and I
flicks
could
you
have,
off.
yeah, and then I could have played the same game with him, and I could have just taken that negative energy the rest of the day with me to anybody I interacted with, because who doesn't love a good story about the idiot on the street, that cuts you, everybody loves that story for some reason. Think about it. It's not a good story to tell, but people love to talk about things similar to that. And here's the other thing about that story. I expected that person to drive through that stop sign.
Mm,
I expected it. I expected every time I go by there for there to be, and the guys, I'm using the word joker because that's a nice word for some,
right.
so I'm expecting people to do that every day because that's the way that people drive in Florida these days. It seems like is there's just not a lot of concern for the other individuals on the street.
Right.
So I expected it. The universe said, "Here you go, Bill.
There you go.
Now, how are
And
you
here
going
it
to
is.
respond? How are you going to respond, Bill?"
Oh gosh, that's such a great example, Bill. And growth means that you are learning from your own mistakes. You're learning from your reactions versus responses. You're learning from um, the times that you fall, and you're learning how to just improve yourself so that you can bring your best version to your interactions with other people, And so um, sometimes when we focus on the things that could go wrong and we say the things that maybe we said. I know I was good for saying in the past, anything that could go wrong on a Monday, pick a day of the week, will go wrong. And like clockwork, on a Monday or Friday, things that could go wrong went wrong. And then I would get ticked off because they went wrong, because I would say, well, what did I do? I didn't equate that to, I said it, I put it out there, I gave it the energy, and the universe source responded in kind, right? And so you asked for it, you said it, there must have been some conviction in what you said. So here it is. That way you're right and you're right. So whether you think right thoughts or whether you think thoughts that don't serve you, you're right both ways. It doesn't make you wrong either way. But if you want to live a happier, healthier, more productive life for yourself, not for anybody else, but for yourself, then you have to change the way that you think. You have to change the way that you speak when the way that you think or speak are contradictory to the true you at the core of your being.
Yeah.
That's the way I
I
look
mean,
at it. And
I,
Bill is blurry again.
I did. That's funny
It
because
makes me think of that song, My Name's Blurry Face. There you go.
Center camera. That's what it is. I wasn't center camera. I was off to the side. I was
Oh,
chilling. See?
oh, you were chilling, huh?
Um, yeah, I mean, words and thoughts of, of course, that's where what it's all about.
Hmm.
Now, I don't spend a lot of energy trying to figure out when I go driving whether or not somebody's going to try to hit me or not. But uh, my wife does. Ever since she got in that accident, I mean, and an accident that wasn't her fault, stopped at a red light, completely stopped, and somebody plows into her at about 45, 50 miles an hour. I mean, and she'll live with that accident the rest of her life. But that's one of the conversations we have a lot of the times is not the conversations we have. If she goes out in the car, she'll come back and she'll tell me about the 10 or 12 different people that did stupid things on the road. So it's always in my mind because that's her energy, even though I won't discuss it. It's still going in there. So it's not about just your thoughts, it's about who you are interacting with. Now, I'm not going to stop interacting with my wife because she's, you know, gonna go out there and tell me about all the people that tried to hit her this day. I like her too much for that. But I need to compartmentalize it
Mhm.
and go on and again, just like you were talking about um, your day going wrong and stuff of that nature, we can dwell on it and we can ruin the rest of our day and the next day and other people's day, or we just, learn from it. And then
Absolutely.
hopefully the next time you'll turn the other cheek, basically.
Mhm.
I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that don't react at one point in time in their lives on not on a regular basis, let's say, but on a semi-regular basis.
Mhm.
Because like you said earlier, life happens.
Yep,
So, you know,
definitely. It's life is a choice. Living is a choice. Um, we wake up, but we can choose not to live when we're awake. We can just allow the world and the things that happen on a daily basis just control what we think, what we do, and then we can blame everything around us and say, well, it's that person's fault, it's the government's fault, it's the job's fault, it's whomever's fault. And then we never look inward and we never say to ourselves, well, what role am I playing in what I'm experiencing? Like, what am I contributing to this uncomfortable, unwanted situation, if we never look inward, we're never going to see that we are at the root of everything that happens in our lives. Now, there are things that are out of our control, and that's when we have to exercise our reaction or response to it. And so, just because in government, maybe things are not going the way I want them to go, I'm not going to sit and go comment and post about all the things that I think are wrong with the world. I just, it's not worth my time, me specifically.
well,
Uh,
it lowers your energy too. It lowers
correct.
your vibration, and then your joy is gone.
Right. And so just choosing to engage in or think about the things that make me feel good is what I choose to do. So that's how I choose to live my life. I've been on the other side of that where I've chosen to only focus on everything that's going wrong because that was easy for me to do. But it's easy to also think about the things.
Oh, I thought that was my cue.
It was your cue. Anytime I say it's easy, Bill.
I might just hold it up then.
Ah. So it's easy to do whatever it is that you choose to do. You know, if you choose to be pissed off at the world, hey,
Well,
do
and I don't think there's any of us that didn't live that world for a while,
that.
where it's always easier to find somebody else to point the finger at than ourselves, or find the negative in a certain thing rather than the positive. I mean, just like the little car thing that I just went through, it could have been worse. He could have run right into the side of the new car that we had to buy because of the accident that I'm talking about that I shouldn't talk about. I mean, literally,
Right.
it could have been worse. I should have been happy that everybody had good brakes, you know,
Absolutely.
and that his hand wasn't broken. He could still flip.
Right. I was thinking that. I was like, I would think that he can express gratitude that his fingers are working just fine. They can
Yeah.
go up and they can go down. They can curl upwards. They can make a fist. Either way, all these things are working.
And that may be a little bit over the top where I'm saying I should have gratitude that his fingers work, but I should have had gratitude that nobody, and I did. When
Hmm.
I went around and over to the Wendy's and well, I'm doing a promotion for Publix, Wendy's,
Look at this.
got myself a soda and just sat there for a minute and reflected. That did go through my mind. Wow, it could have been worse. I could have had, thank you, source. Thank you, God. Thank you, whatever, uh, I'm not injured. I get to play softball on Saturday, I'm pretty good. So there's so many things that happen to us that seem so negative or so bad, and yet there's so much positivity in it if you really look at it. And that's where the learning comes into play. So,
Mm. Yes. And it as you were talking about, we're joking, but in actuality, even when people rub us the wrong way, I was reading in The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scoville. I hope I'm saying her
I think
shin.
Donna's doing a
Yeah, I see she's doing a
YouTube.
YouTube on that.
Yeah, I haven't joined her channel. Doggone, I should have written it down. Donna Vanderhoff 888 or something, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't see which one specifically. I have to go through a lot of things that I opened up this morning, but it made me think of in the book. I'm on the chapter on love, and it was talking about how there was a guy, I'm paraphrasing, and I may have the details a little whack right at this very moment because I don't have the book in front of me. However, this guy never said thank you to anyone when he got something, but what he did do was that he said, I bless the divinity within you, something to that effect. And so essentially for me, what I got from that, and I think that Florence explained what that meant, is just that you're wishing well on the person, on that person. So you're blessing the divinity, the soul or the inner being of the individual. Because I think that when we're doing that, even when we get uh, individuals that are really challenging and difficult to deal with, we can react in kind and say, oh, that piece of, you add whatever word that's colorful for you, is such a blah, 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 this and that. Or because you're in a positive state of mind and you're feeling good and you want to try to, not dig deep and analyze as to what they're going through, but maybe ask yourself, are they going through something? And wish them well, wish them life, wish nothing but good and health and wealth into their life. Because they may not be accepting it today, but who knows? You guys may cross paths years in the future, and you're wondering, I know you from somewhere. You were that guy that showed me that your fingers worked really well, and so
Yeah.
did your brakes, so did mine. And so glad that you're doing so well. And then it becomes something that turns into something positive, but you just never, this world is smaller than you think. I can't believe how small this world is. I've run into people that there's no way on the planet Earth I thought I would ever run into them again when I ran into them once, or that I would run into them at all because there's just no way that I would cross paths. I used to think that about celebrities, that there's no way I'm ever gonna run into, say, like Julia Roberts. I'd never thought. Um, I used to think that about my mentor and one of my favorite people in the world, Lisa Nichols. I'm never gonna get to get close enough to take a picture, and I have a picture to prove that I did get close enough.
That's the way she used to think. She doesn't think
Yes.
that way anymore.
Correct. Thank you, Bill. And so I realized that what we want will just happen. It may happen quickly, or it may take some time. It all depends on your vibration and where it's at.
And because there is no such thing as time. I know that's a
Correct.
hard concept for people to
That is
understand.
true.
Uh, time is irrelevant. But talk a minute about the book, um, the one you were just talking about, Bud Florence,
The game of
The Game
life
of
and how to
Life,
play it.
how to play it. I don't have it. I have it on
You
audio.
You should well, either way,
I don't,
audio
yeah.
is great. I listen to audio when I'm either driving or walking. Um, it's amazing though, speaking of walking and listening to books, I actually retain more listening to a book when I'm walking because I'm paying attention to what I'm listening to.
But
Um,
this was written what, in the 20s or
in
the
yeah,
30s?
1923 or 1925.
Yeah. This is not a
It's
new
not a new book.
but yet it's got concepts and it's got wisdom in it, as good as any other book that you'll read.
Correct.
And we don't get a percentage of her book sales either. We
Right.
do from the book. It's easy.
It's
It's an excellent book, and it simplifies a lot of things. Uh,
proud to you, Bill.
for me, it simplifies a lot of things, that book, and it's a good one. And I'll try to, in fact, I will post Donna's YouTube channel today, uh,
Hmm.
and hopefully people will catch that, and you can study the book with her. It's a good book.
It
I
really
guess you
is.
wouldn't be studying it with her because it's on YouTube, unless she's doing it live. I don't know,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, that's a
great
good
book.
question. Yeah, I actually my friend, I have a very good friend who is a self-taught coder IT guy. He's incredible. And he sent me a text message with a screenshot of the book. He's like, "Have you read this?" I was like, "No." But as soon as somebody suggests a book and it's from someone that I respect, like I'm on it like white on rice. Okay? Yes.
Like a slap beside the head. It was a
Yes.
universe. It's the exact things we were talking about last week, that if we pay attention, that, like you talking about that book, Donna talking about that book today,
Hmm.
on one of her Facebook posts, reminds me I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah. It's a really great book. It's an easy read. It's short. I what I do is I actually read a chapter right before I go to sleep. Um, because why not? It
Yeah.
feels good to read it right before I go to sleep. And it just has really valuable information for me. And I think anyone that is on a journey to improve their life and grow and continue to improve themselves, improve their thinking, improve their words, the speech, the words that come out of their mouth. It's just another great tool to have, in your tool belt that you can whip out, kind of like it's easy when you believe it. There you go.
But
And
again, it's like we were talking about last week, the nudges, the things the universe are giving us, because now that's twice today that book was brought up. And I was paying attention, and I know I heard it probably earlier last week as well.
Mhm.
The universe is telling me, in my opinion, that I need to go back. There's something in that book that's calling me right now. And
Yes.
and I need to go back, and even if I'll listen to it again. I might even buy it now just so that I can highlight whatever the universe is trying to tell me. Uh, and that's, again, imagination session that we're having right now, accountability session, whatever we want to call this, collaboration session, the Dream and the Journey YouTube channel, whatever, whatever it is. Another shameless plug for the,
Shameless plug. I love shameless plugs, Bill, because they're amazing. I've
yeah.
joined Bill's YouTube channel, and it's got some powerful content. I'm actually in the content, in the information. So I'm just gonna duplicate what Bill is doing, because why reinvent the wheel when I can just do this?
But we're having
However,
fun. But
yes.
here we are, we're talking back and forth. And that's one little nugget, one little spark. There's more than that. But I mean, if it was only this one little nugget about the book,
Hmm.
the whole 55 minutes I think we've been here now. I don't know how other people can look at their Zoom channel and say how many minutes they've been here. I just know that the clock was about 8:25 when we started, and it's 8
Hmm.
9:20 now. So about
Right.
55 minutes. And even if that was the only thing that I got out of this conversation, it was well worth the 55 minutes that I need to go back and find out why Florence Shen, I believe is her name, something like
Yes.
that, why she's trying to talk to me right now. And I
Oh
just,
yeah. There's always a message in everything, and it comes, especially when it's repeating. When things repeat themselves, like numbers, like if you listen to the radio, just regular radio, and don't have like Spotify or iTunes music, if you're listening to things and you have something that comes up constantly, so that literally applies to anything. um in conversations that are unrelated to the topics that you and I talk about, Bill, if things come up outside of those conversations, then because you become so self-aware that you're like, wait, this was, we talked about it. You just said it. You were, you know, Donna was promoting her YouTube channel. You know, I was talking about the book. She's talking about the book. A friend recommended the book to me. I immediately jumped on board, got the book. As soon as it came, I started reading it, and I read a chapter every night. And once I finish, I'm going to start it all over again and make my little notes. So what I do is I'll get a book. I read it through the first time. If I have a pen handy, I'll highlight, but I have these little tabs that I use to mark pages so that then I can go back, highlight. Then I like to make notes for myself and just really kind of reflect on what I'm reading means to me. So, reading with purpose, reading with intent to understand, to grow, to gain some additional knowledge that I can pass on to others from the things that I'm actually using. So, tools that I'm actually using in order to become better. So, I don't just read books to read books, I read books to gain insight. Knowledge and to be able to use tools that actually work so that when I say, hey, I recommend this book, this is what I did and this is what I saw um, happen in my life because of it, I have proof. Some people need proof. I don't need proof. Well, yes, I do need proof. I need proof because I like to test the things that, when they say do certain things, I like to see if those things will work for me because not everything works for everybody. Some people like to listen to books versus reading them. Some people prefer to read the books like a physical book. And that's what they like to have so that they can touch the paper. It's a thing. Yeah, I love holding books and flipping pages and highlighting and writing little notes on the side. You
Well,
know, so
well, if everybody's waiting for the audio version of our book, It's Easy When You Believe It, it's not coming out anytime soon.
you
But
never
we've never,
know.
I don't think we've ever talked about that book before, The Game of Life. I don't think we've ever talked about it before. And,
No.
if we have, it was just in idle conversation or whatever.
Hmm.
So the fact that it has come up this morning alone in the last 3 hours, because I drank my coffee and everything before I ever even looked at my phone. So it was at least 6 o'clock in the morning before I even looked at social media, which is where I saw Donna's post. So within the last 3 hours now, not talking about after I brought it up again, but the two times you from your IT buddy and Donna, there's something there. The universe is giving me a nudge. It
Yep.
may and giving you a nudge because of your IT friend. And now that we're talking about it, there's something in there that we need to digest a little bit more than maybe we have or just a reminder. We're
Yep.
always getting reminders about things that we think we're walking, the things that we're talking about that we think we're walking as straight a line as we can.
Hmm.
But when we reread something or listen to something and we get that little hint or something that says, hey, this is a reminder.
Right.
Thoughts become things or whatever it is. This is a reminder. So yeah, so this was very, very productive session for us.
Yes. I love it. Hey, y'all, just a reminder. And until the imagination party starts, this is what you'll hear.
On Saturday, December 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
That's when the party will begin again. We should probably talk about this in the beginning, but yeah, I think my hands are bigger than yours.
Party Central. Well, I have smaller hands, Bill, so I don't need big hands to clap. This is loud enough. Hey, listen, but I got more than one. I got six. So if I need to make a lot of noise, I'm going to hold all six
Yeah, it was,
and
yeah. I
clap.
noticed that I could have got more for almost the same price. I just
Yep.
didn't want them laying around the house all over the place. It was
Oh,
a thought out purchase, and it's somewhere over here. It's funny, it came in a little white prime bag, but
no, mine came in a box.
I think my top hat's in the box.
Oh, you got a top hat.
I think I did.
Oh,
I don't know. It depends on what's in the box.
yeah. I'm waiting for mine that should arrive at some point or another today. My hat, it may have lights, y'all.
Yeah, that's what you said. Always trying to outshine everybody.
It may have lights and it may be purple. Because why not?
Yeah, why not purple?
Mm,
But
mm,
I,
mm.
why don't we go ahead and what was I going to do? I was going to do this.
We're gonna call it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, 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 mm.
I'm going to share my music again. Where did it
We're
go?
gonna share music.
Where did my music go? Do, 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 do.
Mm.
And the only reason I was using this song this morning was because I had money in my background. And I know that that first imagination session, that's what we're going to do for iMovie
All
outcome
right.
and our imagination guided them. But this song seemed appropriate. Now,
I love it.
we've only had a couple recommendations when I asked what song we should play.
Mhm.
And when we played it, I don't remember who it was but it was Wannabe by the Spice Girl. I tell you what I want, what I really, really want,
I
what I
want
really,
it.
really want. But it's talking about a guy, I think.
That's when you play clips of song.
Yeah, yeah.
Play the whole song. So if you have the song list made up, you can play like the first verses, things that are staying out because there's songs that I like that contain certain lyrics in it, but
Phrases.
not right, but certain things just are not applicable because I'm talking about everything. So when um when you want to be DJ Andrea, DJ Bill,
Yeah.
you got to know when to clip, 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 clip.
All right.
Play little clips.
Well, let's call this one. And you have a
Yes.
great afternoon. What do you have on plan today? Anything special?
Today, let's see, I think I wrote it down. I have, hmm. Oh, these are all personal things like going to
Oh,
the
no,
dollar store
I wasn't
to
asking that.
get some.
No, I'm going to do a little bit more John Lee. And again, of course, I'm going to do some Paul McKenna,
Yes.
hypnotherapy.
That's what I was doing this morning is I was listening to John Lee's quest and getting a little bit of inspiration to do some little clips here and there. Start showing my face with my purple shades, and I can change my cover.
And did you want to do let me stop the share here. I don't know why did you want to do the call with Mary about doing books? Not today, but I mean,
Yeah, if I was just waiting on your thoughts, I'm cool. She definitely has experience, and it would be helpful to the universe. Is that was for me a nudge because I up until now I have been reluctant to ask for help, but when we don't use the tools that are presented to us and we don't respond to the nudges that we have the support that we want and that we need, well, we it may take us longer. And right now we're on the lightning speed That's not
And
even a word. I was about to make up a word. I have a book of words. I just make up words, but um, I would love to if you're open to it.
yeah, I'll send her I'll message her back today asking her what's good for her. I know my days I can usually work around pretty much anything except my hypnotherapy, the live classes.
Mhm.
So that, um, but I would think sometime in the evening, not late evening. I like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon for you and me during the week's usually pretty good.
Yeah, because I
Five
think she's
o'clock's
on
fine.
Pacific time, right?
3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll tell her, uh, and
Yeah.
tell her to name a day.
Yep. Yeah, because I know that she's 3 hours behind us. So
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic, Bill. As always, it's been a magical hour and 1 minute or 6 minutes. Um, and until the next time,
It's
Imagination
part,
Party is coming to town.
and I'll post again the details for that on a couple of my sites. I never asked Mary if we could post it on Magnet 30, but I'll ask her that too.
There you go. Fantastic. Everyone, have a magnificent day. Until the next time, this has been the Imagination Session.
Oh, I thought sure you're
Easy when you believe it.
gonna. All right, everybody's talk again tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Toodaloo.